Hey guys, what the fuck is up? It's Billy and welcome back to No Bleeps. OMG. Oh my god, you guys. James Charles getting accused of talking to, sending photos to a minor. Oh my freaking god. I just never thought we would even be here again. That is the thing. And I'm honestly really shocked and disappointed and angry at this entire situation. Because if you guys remember in my predictions about 2021, I said that I felt like this was going to be James Charles' year. This was going to be the year that he came out with his cosmetics line that he had been kind of talking about. And this was going to be his redemption. Last year, he redeemed himself from Dramageddon. But this year, I was dang, James Charles is really beloved again. He's got all these fans. And now I'm oh shit. I couldn't have been more wrong. And I'm just very disturbed by all of the stuff that has come out about James Charles, and it's really disappointing. And a lot of people are just oh my gosh, was Tati and Jeffree right? Are we gonna have to be they were right? But to kind of just break it down for you guys and let you know everything that has happened, how we got here, how the story even came to be, all the responses that James has come out with, all the responses from other people, what people want him to do. It is a lot, and we're going to get into it. So basically, this 16-year-old boy, who I'm not going to mention by name because he is 16 years old and he's underage, he posted a TikTok video. It was a 2-part TikTok where he said that him and James Charles had been messaging with each other. And how this all started of them talking was clear from James's statement because he wrote a whole statement about it. But he said that he saw a photo of this kid on his Instagram Explore page, and he probably thought that he was attractive, and he followed him, and he saw that this person was already following him. And then he went to his Snapchat and added him on Snapchat because on his saved Instagram stories was a photo of his Snapchat. So I feel that's how James knew to follow him on Snapchat. And that's how they began talking. And this kid, the 16-year-old, said that he was a fan of James Charles and that he really loved watching James's videos, and him talking to James was a very big deal. And he also had his age in his saved Instagram stories. If you go to his saved Instagram stories, right next to the one of Snapchat, it's of his TikTok, and in the bio it says that he's 16 years old. People are did James see it or not? People think that James did, but according to James, he did not know that this person was 16 years old. He was under the impression that this person was 18 years old and lied to him about his age. So in this TikTok, the 16-year-old says that, him and James were talking, and James was starting to, send him photos, really sexy photos of himself, and asking this kid to send photos back to James. And the things that this person were saying that James said, they had screenshots of the messages on Snapchat, and because you can't screenshot on Snapchat without the other person seeing, he was taking photos of their conversation on a different device, which a lot of people have been that's really shady, why were you doing that, and saying that he was clout chasing. To which I will say, I don't know what clout people think that this person was after trying to expose James. He's going up against millions of people that love James by saying this stuff. And this also happened last July, which I will get into, but this happened last July, and I don't remember that kid's name. Does anyone? It's not you get clout for coming out against James Charles. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And even still, if this person did think that they were going to get clout from this, they're 16 years old and they are receiving photos like this and getting asked to send photos like this. People are saying this is still illegal. Whether this kid lied or not, and whether that is really messed up to lie about your age, the adult in the situation is still very much at fault. And that is just the law. That's the way that it works. So a lot of people have been I feel bad for James. He was lied to. He didn't know. This is also the second time James has ever been lied to about someone's age. And so that's why a lot of people are more skeptical this time and questioning it more this time, because it's just like, why is this happening again? Where someone is lying to you about their age, you later find out and you have to like apologize for it. Why weren't you like checking IDs of the people that you're talking to online? You need to confirm that the people you're talking to are of age, because yeah, that like sucks that you would have to be like, let me see your ID, but for the protection of yourself, to make sure that you're not doing anything illegal, you'd think that you would want to make sure that you were talking to someone that is of age. And it's, oh my gosh, there's just so much to say. But this person was taking, the photos on a different device of what James was saying. And in James's statement said that this person eventually did come out about their age and James stopped talking to them immediately. I will read you guys the entire statement of what James said in regards to this entire situation, because it is a lot. It's a lot to process. So he came out with a statement because a lot of people were just like, James, you need to address this. Why is this, for the second time we're hearing about someone talking to you and receiving photos from you. There were screenshots, and also the screenshots like of the things that James was asking him to do, allegedly asking him to do, were just so specific, like go in the shower and flex and like take a photo. And it's like, who says that stuff? Who says that stuff? I just don't. It's very specific. And there's even more people that are coming out about, James talking to them and asking them for photos. And when he doesn't receive them, he gets angry. And there was one guy who said that James was like questioning his confidence because James didn't send it to him. That's all alleged. But in regards to this situation, James said on Twitter in a Notes app statement, trigger warning, grooming and pedophilia. There's a video going around about me on TikTok and Twitter of a guy calling me a groomer, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I have groomed this person is completely false. Last week, I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me and added him on Snapchat. The next morning, I woke up to several snaps from this person being excited. I added him back, saying he loved me and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. I asked how old he was right away, and he told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could be potentially great, I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport. It's now clear, based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer. And when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologized for flirting, but he insisted on continually talking, saying it could be our little secret. He's a fan of mine and would never tell anyone. I told him I wasn't okay with this. He started getting upset and at this point unfriended me. We haven't spoken since. I'm not victim blaming him or victimizing myself either, simply sharing what happened, and what happened was not okay. After false allegations like this, in the past, I would never knowingly engage with anyone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats. Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I will now ask to see the ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with. Now, bringing back the conversation that I said of what happened last summer. So last July, there was someone underage who came out and said that James Charles was snapping him and sending him photos of himself. And James said that this person lied about their age, said that they were 18, and they were not. They were underage. And everyone in this case was like, wow, James was lied to. That's so bad. Like, this person just wanted clout. That was just so bad. And like, I feel so bad for James that, he's getting lied to like this, and he just wants to find love. But because it's happened again, everyone is like, wait a minute. Why didn't you learn from the first situation? It never should happen in the first place. It never should have happened ever with either one of these people in the first place. But why, after the first time that this occurred, were you not being careful? Why are you being so reckless with who you're talking to? It's just very confusing to me. And I said this in the video that I made, but I was like, I feel like as an influencer or anyone of celebrity status, you should just always think that whatever you send out to other people, if this got seen by the public, how would they feel? I just feel like that statement could get a lot of people out of a lot of trouble because it would just stop them from doing a lot of things, because a lot of people think because they do something in private, like no one's ever going to know, they're never going to get caught. Well, I mean, I just think you have to think about these things. Like, why isn't James thinking, well, like, what if this person is lying? Like, maybe I shouldn't send this right away. Maybe I should just wait, like, ask for some ID. I mean, this person said they were 18. James is 21. I feel like 18 is just, it's right there. You know, it's just freshly legal. I would have some questions. I would have a lot of questions, okay? And after having someone lie to me once that was 18, I would definitely be like, yeah, I don't believe you. Like, let me see some proof. Or be like, hey, you know, people have really tried to lie to me before, and I'm sorry if, like, this is weird, but can I see some ID? Like, I just feel like you have to protect yourself. And I don't know why he wasn't doing that. I don't know why he wasn't. It's just, it's crazy. And it's upsetting and it's disgusting. Why are you, oh gosh. And I watched James Charles on Logan Paul's podcast, and there were a lot of things on there that I was just like, oh God. So they're talking about how people come out and accuse James of a lot of stuff ever since Dramageddon. And Logan is like, you know, people are always trying to come for you. And James was saying that now when people come out, because of all the stuff that happened with Dramageddon, typically people are just like, oh, well, just, you know, let him be. Like, he's been through enough. I mean, yeah, James, you've been through a lot of stuff, but because you've been through a lot of stuff, you should definitely be more on it. You should have learned some lessons and been better. Not going in with the mentality of this whole, he's been through a lot, like, let's just let it slide because he's already, you know, been canceled to the maximum extreme. So, you know, let's not let him go through that again. That doesn't mean because people are letting some things slide because of Dramageddon that you can go out and be reckless, that you can go and message people and not ask for IDs, and like if they lie to you, it's a oopsie. It's not an oopsie. This is illegal. This is illegal, and it's not okay, and it's wrong, and I don't understand why he is out here with this mentality of, I've already been canceled so badly, and I've come back from it. And I think a lot of people are wondering if because he came back and he like redeemed his image again, that he thinks that he can kind of get away with anything now. And I just don't believe that to be the case. I think this time is extremely different because the stories that we're hearing are coming from the boy's mouth directly. And back with By Sister, when Tati came out with her video, when Jeffree was talking about stuff, it was people speaking on behalf of other people. They did not bring any receipts. There was no proof. It was like, I heard, I saw, this is, you know. But the 16-year-old boy that came out with this TikTok, he had those screenshots. He showed people what James allegedly sent to him. And you know, Tati and Jeffree were not able to provide that. Shane, too, because he had involvement in that whole situation. But now that people are seeing this and hearing it directly from the person that was affected's voice, people are taking this very, very seriously. And obviously, they took By Sister very seriously. And obviously, that's why James went through what he went through during By Sister. But this situation feels more like people are trying to, you know, get justice. They're like, wait a minute, like I've heard this situation before. Why did it happen again? And with By Sister, I think it was just a lot of people being like, I don't like James Charles. There were so many things leading up to Tati making her video that people didn't like about James Charles already. Like James Charles going to the Met Gala and people hating on his outfit, and then Coachella, his outfit going viral, just people hating on him so much. And then when Bias Sister came out, everyone was like, oh my gosh, like an excuse to not like James Charles, basically. With all the stuff that they were, saying about James Charles, it definitely had people like, oh, this is for sure a reason to not like James Charles, even though there was no actual receipts that Tati, Shane, or Jeffree were providing at the time. And now that we're actually seeing it, I think people have honestly come a long way since 2019, and they are more careful about, I need to see receipts, I need proof before I can make a call on this. In terms of James's statement, I mean, he said that he did talk to this person. This conversation did happen, and he said he received photos from this kid, and that is bad. Why the fuck is this happening? It's just insane to me that it happened once before and it's happening again. I just can't get past that at all. And people have been like, why do you even need to ask people for IDs? Like, why are you going for people that look so young you need to verify their age? That's also a thing. People are like, stop going for guys that look like teenagers. That'll really help you out. Like, go for someone older. And something that I did not understand was on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, when James was on there, he was talking about how he is not attracted to older men. But he was, the way he said it, he was like, I feel like I'm 40 years old. He's like saying that he's so mature compared to everyone that's like 21 is like drinking, partying, like going to college. And he unfortunately doesn't like older guys. He's attracted to the younger guys, like 18, 19, but has like an older personality, or someone that's like 24 with a younger personality. And I was like, what? And yes, I said that right, you guys. I don't know what that means. Like, how are you mature, but you're not into older guys? Like, don't you think that if you are feeling like you're older and you're like mature, like you would relate better with older guys? Like, I just feel like that makes a lot more sense, because you're going to be on the same level mentally, like ready to settle down and do life together. Whereas like if you're with someone that's 18, they're going to be like definitely not on that same path of ready to settle down. I mean, maybe, but it's just, I feel like a little rare to find, and it definitely doesn't make sense. It's just weird. And why would you want like 24 with a younger mindset? I don't get it. I do not get it. When I was like 20 and 21, I was like working all the time, and I was doing school online, and I felt like mature. I was like, I don't relate to anyone that's like going out and partying, like drinking all this stuff. I mean, I did those things, but it wasn't something that I loved doing. Like, I wanted to settle down. I wanted to just be with one person. I wanted to just find the one. Oh my God, I sound like such a loser, but I did. I wanted to like settle down. I wanted to have this life for myself. And obviously not a lot of 20-year-old guys are thinking like, yeah, I want to find my wife, like, let's get married and like blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I like older guys. That seemed right. Like, I'm feeling like I'm mature and I want to be with someone who is also on my same level, like mentally right now. They want the same goals right now. I had to go older. So why isn't James going older? I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, there are 21-year-olds who are willing to be with him, and also celebrities. There's celebrity dating apps. Why isn't he on them? There's dating apps he could be on. There's celebrity matchmakers. But I also feel, and I feel like I heard James say this before, that he doesn't want to date another influencer. He wants just someone not an influencer. I don't remember why he said that or when, but I remember him saying that he didn't want to be with another influencer. And I think it's just like maybe like a power thing. He just wants to be with someone that he can take care of, which, okay, interesting. This whole thing is just, it's insane to me. And some of the things that James has actually said on Twitter about this situation in response to a lot of people coming out and criticizing what he's been saying is, someone said to James, like, don't think that you can kind of like get away with just putting this little notes app out. And he said, I'm not trying to get out of anything. No matter what happened, it was unacceptable Embarrassing, and I should have taken the extra steps to research the person I was talking to. There is no excuse. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is on me. And people did not like this statement. They were like, what do you mean, fool me once, shame on you? No matter what happened, if this kid lied to you, it is still on you. According to the law, it is still on you that you sent stuff, you talked to this person, you try to pursue this person. It is on the adult for not making sure that they were doing the right thing with a minor. And I mean, there's a lot of different sides to this. A lot of different sides to this story. People are saying still that they feel bad for James. Obviously, there's a lot of James Charles fans that are coming out and saying that they feel bad for James and that they're sorry that this happened to him. They're going to forgive him. You know, he just needs to check IDs. And then there's people that are like, James needs to see actual, you know, repercussions for this. There needs to be serious action taken. And people are saying, if this happened between a straight guy and a girl that was a minor, he would immediately be canceled from the internet. He would lose all of his brand deals, sponsorships, all this stuff. People are wondering, why is Morphe still willing to work with James Charles, and why they stopped working with Jeffree Star after accusations came out with him, but they're not willing to drop James Charles. And Trisha Paytas has come out and spoken about how she feels about the situation. Ethan Klein from H3 has come out and spoken about how they feel about the situation, and they just don't understand why James is kind of getting away with doing this a little bit more than someone else would have been. And Trisha is especially focused on the fact that James Charles' best friend is Charli D'Amelio, who is 16 years old, saying that James is like a predator. He's creepy with Charli and all this stuff. And she says that she feels this way because it's just like weird. Why should a 21-year-old be friends with a 16-year-old? They have nothing in common, all this stuff. I do believe that James and Charli are friends because he started to get famous at a very young age. He can relate to Charli and like kind of influence her in a way that, you know, teaches her how to navigate social media and deal with people talking about you and hate and all this stuff. And he is like a family friend at this point. He does hanging out with the parents, which Trisha just feels like is so wrong. The parents should be careful of James Charles, should definitely be protecting Charli from James Charles, making sure that there's nothing weird going on and that they shouldn't even just be friends at all. That's pretty much what Trisha is saying. And so this whole thing it's just getting very, very, very extreme. I mean, people want to see James really pay for what he did. And this kid, the 16-year-old that came out with the original TikTok, he did post on his Snapchat story, TikTok Room posted it, that he said he was going to the police station and that he was filing a report. He said they went through his entire phone and they saw all the messages that he had, like the photos, screenshots of, and that they were going to get in contact with more people to hopefully like bring the case along and get more information. And I mean, that's insane to think about. It's certainly crazy. And I can't even imagine, I mean, if this really does go there and there's a case against James, holy shit. I mean, but, you know, something that people have been talking about is the whole Shane Jeffree Tati situation. And saying that, do you think that Shane and Jeffree are going to kind of use this as their redemption path because James has fallen and now maybe there's space for them to come back because of the fact that people are going to have to be like, oh, you guys were right about James Charles? Well, people are like, no, absolutely not. They cannot. There's no way. Like, this happening with James is a whole separate thing. And it does not have this big banner saying, welcome back, Jane and Jeffree. That's not what the situation is at all. They definitely still need to be held accountable for the things that they did. And especially with Shane, there's so many reasons why he's not on the internet right now, why he is in hiding, and it's not because of, you know, just him being involved in Dramageddon. There's a lot more to that. And if they come on and try to be like, we told you so, I don't think that's going to happen. Some people think it's going to happen, but I really just don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think Tati will come back either, at least not right now, not during this time, because of the fact that she came out with My Sister and she apologized. She went into hiding, and then she said that she met up with James Charles and they talked it out, and that Jeffrey and Shane basically made her make By Sister, and they fed her all these things about James Charles. And so she apologized for what she said about James, and people are just like, well, if Tati is apologizing when James Charles is really well liked again and then comes back when James is not so liked again, it's definitely going to be a little weird. And I agree. I don't think she's going to come back, though. I honestly think that Tati is kind of retired from the internet at this point, because it has been so long since Tati has uploaded a video on her channel in general. And I mean, I don't really even know what to think is going to happen, the next week that this is out and we don't get to talk again about it. But I don't even know what is to come for James Charles. I don't know what's going to happen. There are people that just keep coming out every single day. I don't know their ages. It's really unconfirmed, but a lot of people have been coming out and saying, James Charles said this, that was weird, and James Charles messaged me this and questioned my confidence when I didn't want to send them a photo. And it's just like, why are you doing this? I do think it's the whole, like, he thinks he has been taken down once already and can't be taken down again, like, mindset, that he must be just like so reckless if he really is doing the things that people are alleging that he's doing, because it's truly crazy, mind-blowing to me that this is all going down and that he is just, not really saying anything. He definitely was trying to act like everything was all good and fine and okay, because he came out on Twitter a couple days ago and was like, good morning, with a ray of sunshine. Like, good morning, ray of sunshine? Like, this is no rise and shine moment. The internet is upset at you. But I think it's just because he was probably seeing, like, a lot of the James Charles, like, fans say that, they feel bad that he was lied to and all that stuff. And he probably wasn't really looking at all the other people coming out about it, which is insane. Mainstream media is even covering this situation because it is just insane to hear James Charles is talking to someone underage, says that he got lied to again. These types of things don't just happen. It's so easy to avoid these things. You just don't do this. And people are also talking about the whole fan dynamic of the situation. Like, James said that he saw this person was following him. The 16-year-old said that they were a fan of James Charles. Why are you seeking out fans? Why are you seeking out people that like you? It definitely creates this power dynamic that is not okay. It's this imbalance, because if someone likes James Charles and they are talking to James Charles and James Charles is asking them to do stuff, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to be making James Charles upset. Like, I want to keep talking to James Charles, so like I should probably do what he's doing. Like, that is not okay. It's you should not be using your power to make someone do something, if that makes sense. Like, that's why talking to a fan is not okay at all. And on the Impulsive podcast, James did say that he would never be with a fan. He said that there are people that know him and it's kind of hard to know, like, who's a fan and who's, like, not. But he says, like, if someone tries to say, like, hi sister, that he's not going to talk to that person. But I just think that there is such a power imbalance when you're talking to someone that, like, follows you like that. It just makes it weird, because when you're asking for something, they're going to be, like, more inclined to do it because of who you are. And the situation has definitely upset a lot of people, and people just have a lot to say about it. I definitely want to hear from you guys. If you guys are watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about the situation. If you guys want to message me about it on Twitter, you can tweet me at NoBleepsPod. But I love you guys so much. This is craziness, and I'm definitely happy I get to talk to you guys about it, because it is a lot to process, and I feel like there's just a lot of things to say and that I wanted to say and talk about in one place with you guys. And yeah, that is what is going on. But I hope you guys liked this episode. It would mean the world to me if you guys gave a review and rated the podcast. But I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.